Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is a very special presentation of Highway of Blood from Critical Hit Publishing, run by none other than Alex, one of the authors of this very module, this very scenario that we are going to be running tonight. And this is a Call of Cthulhu game. So this is the first Call of Cthulhu game that is happening here on the channel. We're very excited. I know most of us, actually everybody here, we've all played together on one or both of the past Halloween games. And Alex had offered to run some Call of Cthulhu on the channel. And then when Highway of Blood came out recently, I said, hey, here's an opportunity. Let's do it. And I know we've got at least one of the other authors hanging out in the chat, Fantastic Dimensions. So we're very excited to check this out and to see in what cruel and awful ways Alex is going to torment us over the next couple hours. I do want to say, as you can see down below M and I, there is a R rating there. That's more than just the graphic on the book.
I was wondering.
Yeah, it's actually a graphic from the book, but it's also, this is a mature themed stream. It's going to deal with some pretty mature subject matter. Of course, we'll be handling some things also in a mature fashion. But if you have young ears around, I would suggest, parent them how you're going to parent them, I guess, but be warned. That's all I'll say on that. Because there will most likely be language and some pretty intense scenarios taking place during this game. I'm going to do a couple of quick announcements. We got a couple of things that we do here on the channel all the time. And then I'm going to turn it over to Alex so we can get started on this Highway of Blood. So first and foremost, I don't have any logos to point to, but as always, we are partnered. Mini Terrain Domain is partnered with Jasper's Game Day, an organization founded right here in my home state of Michigan, dedicated to raising awareness of and elimination of teen suicide through tabletop gaming. And I've just put a link in the chat. Excuse me. That's a direct link to donate to Jasper's, and if you choose to donate to them, just know that your money is going to help fund crisis centers around the country. Another way that I like to donate to Jasper's is if you like coffee, or you know somebody that likes coffee, you can follow this new link to pick up a bag of Metade roast coffee. Metade. That is a medium Brazilian and Peruvian roast coffee that Dwight and I personally tasted a couple of different roasts, and we selected this roast. It's part of Initiative Coffee Company's Help Action. And every 12-ounce bag of this coffee that you purchase, $3 of your purchase price is going directly to benefit Jasper's Game Day and those aforementioned crisis centers. And finally, as we are on the topic of this organization and mental health and suicide awareness, as always on any Mini Terrain Domain stream, if you find yourself struggling, if you are questioning your worth in this world, just know that you matter, and there are people out there, us included, that care about you. But if you are struggling with that at any time during any Mini Terrain Domain stream, you can type !help, and the resources that just popped up in the chat will pop up again. In the United States, you can reach out to the National Suicide Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. If you are a veteran, you can press the number 1 after dialing that number and be connected with a veteran specialized counselor. Or if you prefer, you can text 741-741. If you are among our Canadian friends, you can reach the crisis text line by texting the word CONNECT for English or PARLEY for French to 686-868, or you can call the Canada Suicide Prevention Services in French or English toll free at 1-833-456-4566. if you are among our many friends from around the world, you can go to that hyperlink that is down at the bottom. And if you can't click on the link, the website is opencounseling.com/suicide-hotlines. And every country in the world that has a suicide hotline or text number is listed at that website. So we highly encourage you to reach out and seek help if you need it. So with that, that is all I have for the announcements. I am now going to turn it over to our keeper for the night, Alex. Take her away.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Jake. All right, so this scenario is Call of Cthulhu, 7th edition. It takes place in West Texas in July of 1975, kind of near the end of July. So it's normally pretty hot anyway, but it's currently experiencing a heat wave. What I'll do is I'll get started, and then I'll have you introduce, kind of describe your characters as we begin to move into it. So right now, the endless ribbon of asphalt stretches to its vanishing point at the low hills on the horizon. Through the heat haze, though the heat haze makes the distance nearly impossible to guess, the cars become an oven as the temperatures top 100 degrees, and it's not even 11 in the morning yet. You've stripped down to the bare minimum clothes required to preserve your modesty, and you still look like you've just climbed out of a swimming pool. Having the windows down does little to help, and the hot wind feels more like an industrial hairdryer. You have enough water to keep you hydrated, but it's so warm that it's like you're drinking weak tea. Wallace is currently driving. Wallace Cumley here. And describe yourself and your car, actually.
My name is Wallace. I'm a police officer. I just started with the Austin Police Department, just like my daddy did 40 years ago. And this car's my baby. And I mean, it may look like a piece of shit, but I've put everything into it that I could. And she gets me where I got to go. And we drive around with my friends, but, try to keep it under the speed limit because, an officer of the law has got to do things the right way. So, but that's me. I'm Wallace.
And what kind of car is it again?
Oh, you have to ask me that, wouldn't you? I'm going to check my notes on that one. Nope, that's... Go ahead.
Okay, that's right. Sitting next to you is your girlfriend, Janice, who is being played by Karen. So if you'd describe Janice.
Janice is probably fairly nondescript. She's average height, average weight. She's got blonde hair. She's got brown eyes. Right now, her hair is hanging limply and plastered to her face, on the sides of the face from the sweat and the heat. She's got her feet up on the dash, trying anything just to remain kind of, get any breeze that's possible, even though it sounds like, feels like a blow dryer going on. Oh, babe, you may have a piece of shit, but it's your piece of shit. This time to celebrate. You made it into the police academy.
Damn right. Let's have a responsibly good time.
He's gonna be fun. In the back seat, which is actually more crowded than it was when they started, sitting behind Janice is her brother Jack. So, Jack, if you would describe yourself.
Jack's about 23, 24, a little pudgy, soft around the middle, kind of pale for a Texas man, blonde hair, longer, just past the collar, has that sort of natural feathered look because of the hot stinking wind constantly blowing past. Well, that's all right. Same color as my wispy mustache.
Oh.
And normally I'd be wearing a denim jacket, but not in this thing, this hot box. I'm stripped down to a white tank top, but I still got my jeans and I got my big old belt buckle that it's a big brass oval belt buckle with the longhorn cattle head on it. And every once in a while, or I guess just about every time as we're sitting back there, at least one hand seems to be on the belt buckle with my thumb tucked behind it and pressed up a bit tight against the other two in here. It's hot back here. And even though I'm behind Janice, I still reach over across whichever one's sitting next to me and just kind of thump the headrest behind Wally. Do windows go down any further?
Mine do. Yours don't.
So Butterfly, a sweaty arm reaches across you and does this. Kind of wedged in between the two people in back is Butterfly, which I'll let Carrie describe.
Yeah. Butterfly is gorgeous. Even in this heat, she does not sweat. She glistens. And her hair is absolutely perfect somehow. Like, it's not the way it was when she first got in the car. It's like more tendrily now, and yet it still looks great. Who knows? Butterfly has flawless, slightly tanned skin, is of average height and weight, and is always dressed in loose-fitting, colorful clothes. So right now for me, that is a tie-dye tank top. And, I've just cut off my jeans at the knee, and we got like capris going now because it's hot. It's hot.
And finally, on the other side of the car behind Wallace is their friend Timmy, who's been a friend of Janice and Jack for most of their lives. And I'll let them describe Timmy.
So Timmy he's sitting there almost like a dog with his head out, sticking out the window, trying to get his hair, more so than the heat, to kind of slick back as he takes a comb from his pocket, and he slowly tries to just make it more nice than this damp mop that was coming to him before. His blue eyes kind of glisten as he looks over to the rest, reaches down to the seat in front of him and takes out a half-empty bottle of very lukewarm water as he kind of passes it to others and just, y'all need to hydrate. It's been, what, half an hour in this heat? Y'all gonna get heat stroke. And he's gonna kind of go to pass to whoever wants it, and also he's going to pass his comb to Janice in a not so subtle.
So I reach back and I'll grab the water. That's right, thoughtful of you there, Timmy. And I go to take a drink, but then I just kind of catch myself and I'm like, oh, and I hand it to Janice first.
Oh, thanks, sweetie. And she would take it, take a nice gulp of water before she would pass it back. Here, you make sure you hydrate. We're counting on you to get us there. And then she kind of looks back at Timmy and this comb that he's holding out to her. And she just kind of shoots him that little eye that he's known since childhood, when she's not too impressed with his little insinuations. She's like,
Timmy feigns innocence. He just kind of shrugs and just, well, fine. You don't want to get that hair out of your face? I can just put it back.
Oh, fine. It's not like it's just gonna, fall out of this elastic. And she, tries to pull it back, and she puts it into this messy ponytail. I mean, it's the best she can do. She's no butterfly, and it doesn't matter how much she's pulling that comb through her hair. It just does not look any better. But at least now it's out of her face. And then she passes back the comb to Timmy. How about now? Is that okay? Pass your inspection?
Janice, it looks great. I don't know what you're talking about. You worry too much. You're too
Aw.
self-conscious. Just live in the moment. We're all having a good time here. Everybody just chill. It's a good day. It's going to be phenomenal.
You're right, Butterfly. Man, I wish I could look at the
know.
world like you do.
It's beautiful, baby. It is beautiful.
You could, as I reach over and take the bottle of water from Janice, and I take a swig, and I I hand the bottle over to Butterfly as I produce from my pocket a couple of red pills. I take one, and with the water in my mouth, and throw it back, and then as I hand the bottle to Butterfly, I just drop one of the pills into her hand.
And I take it too. Little sip of water.
Are you trying to hide this from Wallace's view, I assume?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care if anybody else sees it, but...
Oh, I do. I'm thankful to these guys for giving me a ride. I don't want Wallace to see.
Wallace, give me a spot hidden check.
Ooh. How do I do
I'm
that?
gonna guess that's not.
Oh, is that him? Is that Wallace that's making that check?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I failed on that one.
Yeah, you're busy focusing on the road, even though it's just a straight, black ribbon of highway heading out before you. Still, you always keep your eye on the road, right?
Right.
You guys have been traveling more than 20 miles today. Your last stop was in Big Bend, where you camped out, and that's where you picked up the lovely Butterfly, who was hitchhiking just outside of Big Bend and needed a ride, and you graciously offered to give her a lift up to Marathon, which is your next stop. But you were told the next town wasn't that far up the highway, but you haven't seen so much as a speed limit sign for the last 20 miles. The gas gauge just dipped below half a tank, and while no one said anything about it, you're starting to get a little nervous. You're not even sure that turning back would make the difference at this point. Then you see it.
Wasn't it supposed to be like an hour or two? Like, how long have we been on the road even?
Fair amount of time.
Well, in this heat, I think 10 minutes feels like 2 hours. So I don't know.
Right. It's just a little bit further. We ain't got far to go.
Well, even as you say that, you see a sign. You see the sun reflecting off a faded metal sign on the side of the road depicting a way too happy gas station attendant in a cheesy cowboy hat that looks like it dates back to the 1950s. A cartoon word bubble over his head says, "You're almost there, partner." Beneath him is a weathered Esso logo. Almost as an afterthought, there's a small sign tacked to the pole beneath it. It says, 5 miles, turn right.
Look, Wallace, 5 miles.
Yeah, I knew it couldn't be that much further.
So you've been listening to some music on the radio as you've been going. And at this point, the DJ kicks in and says, his name's Coyote Mike. It's the only station you can get. He says, "Welcome to another day in the seventh circle of hell, with the mercury expected to top 110 degrees here on the Devil's Backbone. And tomorrow ain't looking any better. As my old grandpa used to say, you can't change the direction of the wind, but you can always adjust your sails to reach your destination. I don't know where you're headed, my friends, but here's a little something to help you keep rolling down the highway." And at that point, "Roll On Down the Highway" by Bachman Turner Overdrive comes on. And As promised, 5 miles later, you see an unpaved but well-defined road turning off to the right. There are 2 signs mounted at a slightly tilted wooden post. The top one reads "Abattoir, 3 miles." The lower sign simply says "Gas and Food."
Food. Wallace. I'm starving.
Wally.
Wallace. Hey, Wallace. I go up and I'm starting to tap his shoulder. Wallace, hey.
I slow down and I pull over to the side of the road.
Can we get some food? Is there food? There's got to be food up there. It said food. I saw the sign.
If y'all don't shut up, we're just going to stop right here.
We are stopped right here. Why not just drive a little bit further?
Who's driving the car,
some
Jack?
Food. Nobody
Jack,
at the moment.
Jack. He's right. He's driving the car. Wallace, you're doing great. Driving the car. Keep driving the car.
Thanks, Butterfly, but I asked Jack a question. When an officer of the law asks you a question, I expect you to answer it.
I don't see a badge on you right now, Wallace.
Would you like me to get it out of the trunk? Because you know I got it back there.
Let's not.
I look over at Janice, who, whether she's looking or not, I can feel her sideways glance sort of staring at me over the seat. Wallace, you're the one driving. You're the officer of the law. You're the one in charge, and we are but your humble servants at your command.
And I turn and I just stare right at him. And I just nod. That'll do. And I put the car back in drive. And I drive it's like 800 yards.
Yeah.
I elbow
Pull
Jack
over.
and I say, "Good job, jackass."
All right. So you turn off onto the side road.
Yep.
Okay. Like I said, the road is smooth enough. It's not like it's not too rough, and it's seen some travel. But it's choked with dust. I mean, it's been a heat wave for a while now, so there's just like big cloud of dust you're trailing behind you. It takes you over a series of hills and around a few hairpin turns that, of course, you're taking your time. But the turns seem to come out of nowhere and across, and finally you cross an archaic wooden bridge that the cat kind of gives this little rattle as you go across it. Before finally arriving in the town of Abattoir, you see a hand-painted sign that says "Welcome to Abattoir," and below that, population 850. Clearly, the sign's old and hasn't been updated to reflect the town's current status, as it seems to be a little more than a ghost town at this time, with a bunch of abandoned buildings, empty cellar holes, and the occasional abandoned car way off in the desert. In fact, they look like they've been there for several decades by the make of them. There's one main road through town with several. You can see kind of several secondary roads up ahead that go off at odd angles. In what must be the center of town, you see the Esso gas station on the right. On the left up ahead, you see Mather's General Store, and way beyond that, you can just make out a sign hanging over a kind of sidewalk that says "The Last Stop Bar and Beds."
The Last Stop Bar and Beds. That sounds terrific. We should go to the Last Stop Bar and Beds.
Down one of the side roads, you can just make out the top of a steeple, maybe over stretching over the buildings, and of course the big water tower on the left that proudly displays Abattoir, Texas, on the side.
I think Janice would turn to Timmy in the back, just like she'd kind of mouth the word "abattoir." Like, who would name their town that?
Meanwhile, I'm saying, "Abattoir, what a cute name for a town." I love that name. It's like music. It's wonderful, isn't it, guys?
I think Timmy is like looks from Butterfly to Janice and then back to Butterfly, just like,
right?
I mean, it's a name, but we should
Abattoir.
The Last Stop. That sounds a little ominous, don't you think? Last stop before what?
Before adventure. You never know what's going to happen. This is the last stop before it's awesome. Let's go to the last stop.
So Wallace, you see
Absolutely.
sitting out in front of the gas station, three old men kind of sitting there under the underneath a like a corrugated metal overhang. The sign of the station's old and faded, but the name is still legible. There's a cardboard sign propped up in the filthy window that says "Open." Two gas pumps that look kind of archaic in design, but they seem functional. The single garage bay doors are open. You see a Chevy Nova sitting up on it, though no one seems to be working on it at the moment. And you see a row of oil cans sitting against the front wall with a dark stain in front that implies at least one of them is leaking. You all see a rusty Coca-Cola machine, and even from here, with the car running as you're kind of coming up on the station, you can hear this little high-pitched squeal coming from it. And on the other side of these guys, you see a cigarette machine with a large handwritten sign that says "Out of order."
So I'll pull over to the gas station. I'll pull up in front of one of the pumps.
All right, you pull in. One of the guys gets up, makes his and comes over. He's a tall, lanky man, dressed in a white button-down shirt that's surprisingly clean, and overalls. He's got an oily rag dangling out of the back pocket and a pack of cigarettes rolled up in his sleeve. He kind of saunters up. He says, "What can I do for you?"
Afternoon. Wallace Comey, Austin Police Department. Just passing through, but could you just fill her up?
Russell Williams.
I'm rolling down the window. I'm rolling down the window at this point. It's like, "Hi, what is your name?"
Well, they call me Russ, ma'am.
Hi, Russ. We need gas. Also, is that Coke machine out of order? We are thirsty.
No, it's working.
I get out of the car and go to buy myself a Coke.
Okay. He says, you want me to take care of that? You see him pointing down.
What are you talking about?
Well,
I'll look where he's pointing.
Well, it ain't flat yet, but it's on its way to being that.
Oh, son of a bitch. Yeah, I think I got a full size in the back, so.
Yeah, well.
You got any extras? We're on a trip, and I'd hate to be short a tire.
Yeah, I might have something that fits this. I can go take a look if you want.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Sure. You see the other two over there. The other two are just sitting over there. These little guys just kind of staring unabashedly. You know, one of them smoking, the other one has a beer can in his hand, and they're just watching. So you get to the Coke machine. It's one of the it has the glass bottles in it with the little door in the front. And it's put up this rack. And it's kind of like, and you hear the squeal of the compressor. But it's got right down the line, Coke.
Well, I get myself a Coke.
All right. Yep. I think it's like 10 cents or something like that.
Perfect. When it comes out, I crack it open on the nearest metal edge I can find, and then I go strike up a conversation with those two dudes on the porch.
All right. What's Jack doing back there?
Jack, I follow Butterfly over to the Coke machine and get there about the time she's got her Coke and popped it and is already heading over to the other guys. And then I get myself a Coke, pop it open, and do the old hold it up against the forehead, sides. Just honestly,
it is refreshingly cold.
Honestly, doing that and standing there, one hand on the belt buckle, thumb hooked in, and just watching Butterfly.
And I'm just like, how long have you lived in Abattoir? I love the name of your town, by the way. What are your names?
The one of the guy, the one closest to you, kind of looks up. He says, "Nate, ma'am," and he holds out this big calloused hand. Looks like
And I shake his
looks
hand.
like he's spent a lot of years working.
Oh, I
And
shake his hand.
yeah, he's got a receding hairline, pot belly, teeth aren't the best, but his clothes are not clean. But he doesn't smell as bad as he could. His friend next to him, he Steve, and he puts his hand out. He's an older guy, but he's real kind of thin and wiry. And as he reaches out, you see a big anchor tattoo on his arm as he sort of shakes your hand and nods, "Ma'am."
Ooh, were you in the Navy? Is that where you got that tattoo? My dad was in the Navy, but then we moved to Iowa where there are no oceans, so he couldn't be in the Navy anymore. So he's not in the Navy.
Yeah, I was.
Well, do you have any stories? And I like find it. Is there like a railing to sit or like a pile of tires or anything?
Well, there's the pile of oil cans, but they're kind of nasty.
I sit crisscross applesauce right on the porch.
All right. What about Janice?
So Janice has followed Jack over to the Coke machine and gets herself one. And then she's standing beside him while he's watching Butterfly. Jack, you promised. Come on. This is supposed to be a weekend away.
What did I promise?
Don't go pushing his buttons so soon.
So soon? We've been in that car for hours.
And we're going to be in there for hours longer.
I can't have pushed but one or two of his buttons. He's got at least 6 more.
This is supposed to be a fun weekend.
I'm having fun.
Yeah, well, don't ruin it for me.
All right. I'll try to keep it under wraps.
Thanks, Jack. And I think she'd give him like kind of like a pat on the shoulder because it's way too hot to, like hug or anything.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
what about Timmy?
Timmy comes out of the car as well, and he's going to see Jack and Janice by the Coke machine and go up as well. Maybe we can make a stop by that general store. I'm sure you and he's looking to Jack. You and Butterfly are going to need some electrolytes, maybe some aspirin.
Probably snacks. I think at this point, Janice is turning back, and she's also getting another Coke for Wallace.
Okay. It now as you go to do so, it's empty. You took the last one.
So he does. So I don't have one for Wallace, or do I?
No.
Okay. Seeing that, I kind of curtail how much I'm drinking so that at least he can have some of mine.
So Butterfly, you're sitting in front, and he's he seems a little kind of surprised to be actually someone talking to him. He's not really used to it, but he kind of leans forward, and he starts talking to you like like a granddaughter almost, and he's saying, well, I was in Korea, did some time there, and well, I just live in town here with my dog, and my wife Doris passed away a few years ago, God rest her. But
I put my hand on his knee at this point, and I say, "I'm so sorry. How long ago was it?"
Well, 12 years ago now. That's when I moved. That's when I moved here, just to kind of get away from it all, and just live someplace quieter in my waning years.
It seems like a nice place for that.
He says, well, it's the worst places, I guess. Got a pretty view of the sky every night. That's best I can hope for at my age, I guess. And you kind of look, you kind of glance over and you see his friend Nate there, kind of surreptitiously rolling his eyes, kind of like and he says, he kind of shakes his head and gets up and goes over to the cigarette machine and pulls on one of the levers and picks up the cigarettes that pop out the bottom and walks back over.
Mhm.
The attendant comes over to you, Wallace, Russ, and he says, I checked out back. I got a tire. I think it'll fit. I gotta have to mount it though. Probably take about an hour or so. If you got some time, you can always stop down at the last stop. They should be serving lunch about now if you're hungry.
Well, I was hoping we didn't have to stop that long, but I appreciate the tip. And
yeah, here, and he hands you this big old rusty nail. It's one of those kind of like square head ones, like date back to the 1700s. This big old thing. Says, yeah, it probably came off that bridge back there. Things falling apart.
God damn. Well, thank you. We'll go on over and get us some lunch, and I'll back in an hour or so. You say?
About that, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, sir.
So he goes back. He calls out. He's like Tom, and he goes walking up around the back. All right. So yeah. So what are you guys gonna do?
So I'll head over to the group,
Mm-hmm.
standing around the Coke machine talking. Hey, y'all. It's gonna be a bit. Looks like there was a big old nail in my tire, so they're gonna fix that. It's gonna be an hour or so. So you want to go over to that, whatever that place is called, Butterfly, you were talking about.
The last stop. Yes, let's go.
Yeah, that's the one. They said they got lunch going, so maybe we get us back to eat. So
that sounds terrific.
We should stop by the general store too, while we're at it. Get resupplied.
Why? Oh.
You never know what you might need. Aspirin, emergency.
Chips.
What's emergency? Guys, it was so nice to meet you. And I turned back to the two guys on the porch. Thank you so much for talking to me.
The Navy guy says, my pleasure, ma'am. And it was like, yeah. And he kind of lights up another cigarette. You see a big pile of cigarettes in an old like an old like peanut tin or something like that beside him, overflowing.
I am blissfully unaware.
Yeah, the town looks, like I said, it's fairly deserted. You notice a lot more. There are more closed businesses and buildings than open ones, but as you sort of begin to walk down toward the last stop, off to the left you see a road that leads off with a big sign next to it. The sign announces Whalen Estates and is clearly from the 1950s. It depicts a man in a blue business suit flanked by his doting aproned wife and adorable children clinging to his legs. This improbably happy family gazes in manic joy at an idealized representation of the estate's mobile homes. In a fit of creative license, the artist has the sun setting behind the mobile homes in the north. While the letters spelling out Whalen Estates were once painted metallic gold, most of it is flaked off, revealing the bleached wood beneath. Sun and vandals have taken their toll on the sign. The once vibrant colors have faded, and multiple bullet holes mar the surface, leaving each family member with a rather impressive grouping of shots around their head and chests. The road leading up to the estates looks, rarely traveled these days. With grass coming through cracks in the asphalt. All the yards you can see from here, at least because it's up on a hill, are kind of overgrown. The mobile homes look like they've been abandoned for quite some time. They're all sort of like little carbon copies of each other. You occasionally see like an abandoned car stuck in between them. an old grill that's tipped on its side, that kind of thing. Continuing on down, you see Mather's General Store on the right. It's a wood fronted structure, has a roofed porch that runs the full length of the building. A sign above the entrance declares it as Mather's General Store. A few old barrels with various farming implements are sticking out of it, flank the main doors, which are wide open. A balding man wearing denim overalls sits on a sofa on the far end of the porch. A pile of crushed beer cans are next to him. He stares unabashedly at you as you get closer, smoking a cigarette between, smoldering cigarette between his fingers.
I think that Timmy is going to just kind of, if anyone else from the group comes, but he's just going to jog over really quick.
Oh, to the general store?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He's just going to run over.
So you jog on ahead a bit and over across the street.
He's going to approach the man on the couch and just quickly, you got a pharmacy in here?
Got what?
Like Advil, vitamins?
No. What are you looking for again? Seems a little on the slow side.
There's someone else I can talk to.
We got some canned stuff, some frozen stuff, TV dinners, cigarettes, some hard liquor.
Right.
If you want to order something, I go restock every other week.
Oh no, we're not in here for a while. We're leaving quite shortly. And he's already like backing away. Sorry to have bothered you, sir.
He kind of tosses a cigarette and off the end of the porch onto the street and lights up another one. So you catch up with the others who continued walking on down.
Did you get your emergency?
Man, that was something.
What do you mean?
Man, this reminds me of like the Western days when you were injured, they put a belt in your mouth and some alcohol over it, and then they called it done. Prayed that you didn't die of dysentery.
So you didn't get any aspirin?
No, I'm sorry.
Don't worry, Timmy. If things get bad, I got medicine.
Yes, you do.
Immediately just turn and glare at Jack.
That's what I was trying to get. Your medicine isn't always, sometimes your medicine needs other medicine.
I don't know. I feel fine. How you feeling, Butterfly?
I feel great. Timmy, you need to give this stuff a shot before you knock it. I'm telling you.
Wait a minute.
She's talking about the water, Wallace. It was hot in your car. And the water hit
hydration.
The spot.
Yep. Mm.
You've heard of water intoxication, right? That's
Timmy lights a cigarette. I got a practicum next week at the hospital, but thanks.
You are incredible.
I think that's your medicine talking, Jack.
Butterfly is just giggling.
Tucked in beside the general store, you see what looks what's obviously a barber shop. You see a classic red, white, and blue barber pole kind of turning in front, producing a slight squeak on each rotation. Large plate glass window says it's Tom's Barbershop in cracked white letters. You see a bunch of public notices down below, but they look like they've been there for quite a while. Just beyond that, on the same side, you see abattoir, town hall, and post office. And across the street from that is, as promised, the Last Stop Bar and Beds. The Last Stop has the look of an old West saloon, complete with wooden false front, a wide boardwalk flanking the dusty street, a couple of hitching posts, and a water trough, dry. A cigar-holding wooden Indian stands next to a pair of narrow, double door, the double batwing doors in the center of the front wall. Several large windows are covered with signs and notices, many of which look like they date back decades.
I get very excited and I say, "Oh my God, I have always wanted to do this." And I run right up to the double batwing doors and I kick them open and I go into the bar.
Bang.
Oh, that was great.
Swinging.
And I peek my head back out. I'm like, "Guys, you have to do that on the way in." And I just like go inside and go over to the bar.
As we're heading towards the bar, I kind of grab Janice by the elbow and I kind of pull her back from the group a little bit, and I let Jack and Timmy go on ahead of us.
Okay.
And let them go into the bar first.
All right. They do so.
So as they head in,
mm-hmm.
Jan, is your goddamn brother bringing drugs on my trip?
Wallace, you know my brother.
I know your brother, and we talked about this. I didn't want his ass here. So I'm just going to tell you right now, we can't have that shit. I am an officer of the law, and I cannot abide lawlessness in my car. So that's all I'm going to say. I'd appreciate it if you'd address it with that brother of yours. Love you, sweetie.
All right. I'll try and talk to him.
And then we'll head on in. So,
all right. As you two take up the rear and walk in, you see that the inside of this place, you see a long bar that runs along the left wall with dozens of stools. Tables and chairs seem to be haphazardly positioned about the room, with the occasional support post breaking up the space. On the far wall is a jukebox. The wall around it covered with all manner of antique farming equipment that looks like it might date back to the early 1800s. Scattered amongst them are the occasional black and white photograph from days gone by. On the wall behind the bar is a classic mirror that runs the full length, with bottles of liquor lined up in front. The wall above the mirror is covered with license plates from 1908 up to the present. Some are rusted and bent, while others might have been pressed yesterday. In the center of the plates is mounted a large boar's head with its mouth wide open. You see a gentleman behind the bar, and he's kind of giving Butterfly this rather unfriendly gaze as she walks in, having kicked his doors open so dramatically.
I'm so sorry if I was disrespectful, but I have always wanted to do that, and I love your bar. The aesthetic in here is terrific.
This guy is tall, lean, in his late 40s. He has dark eyes and stringy black hair, a thin pencil mustache like just above his lip, and he says, "Yeah, you can sit anywhere."
I sit right at the bar, right in front of him. Everyone loves me.
He reluctantly gets up from his stool back there and gets over and says, leans down and says, "What can I do for you?"
Well, I will have whiskey, neat, Please. Thank you.
He he kind of and he
seriously,
goes
I'll have
over to
whiskey.
he goes over and pulls out a glass from back there, pours it in, kind of knocks it down on the counter. What was it? I'm gonna check in here real quick. Let's see. This is that's $1.
I give him $2. And I say, thank you so much. What is your name?
He says hang on.
I'm sorry?
This guy should know. Hang on one second.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, I was looking at something else at the moment. Sorry
I
about
feel
that.
you. I feel you.
Yeah, he says Robert.
Robert. My name's Kate, but everybody calls me Butterfly, and I would I hold my hand out to shake his hand.
Yeah. He kind of looks at it for a second and then holds out his hand. He's pretty sweaty as everyone is, although it's a little bit cooler in here at least because you're not at least not in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "You want a menu?"
Yeah. Yes, please. Yes, please. Jack, come on over here. Robert's bar is terrific, isn't it? And Robert is terrific too. Thank you, Robert.
I sit down next to Butterfly. Robert, was it?
Yeah.
I'm Jack. People call me Jack. I'll have some Jack, actually. I mean, if you got it.
He points to the wild turkey. Says, that's it there. That's all we got.
Texas Jack in my book.
Abattoir Jack.
Abattoir Jack. It's actually a pretty cool name.
Right?
Yeah, I know, right?
I like that.
Abattoir
Jack.
He slides out a he slides out a menu in front of you and says, if you're hungry, we're serving lunch now. I put the menu in the chat.
I got the menu. Oh, wow. A lot of stains in this menu. I'm sorry. I did not mean to say that out loud. I will have, I guess, with my whiskey, I'll have some iced tea and, oh my God, cheese and lettuce sandwich with potato chips.
Cheese and lettuce. He's scribbling it down on a notepad, and he looks expectantly to you there, Jack.
Burger and fries.
Yeah. He writes that down. And now everyone else at this point has already come in. Where are you guys sitting?
Timmy comes in and he sits beside Jack, and you please make sure that these two here get some waters as well.
I'm having iced tea, Timmy.
Water as well. And he says, I'll try your pork pie, please.
All right. Pork pie. We got our special sausage sandwich with fries, if you want that.
Sounds right good. I'll try one of those. And how's that chili?
I lean over to Jack and I'm like, how's that chili?
At the same time, I lean over to Butterfly, and we both say at the same time, how's that chili?
Robert kind of looks back and forth to you, not quite sure if who you're making fun of, but he says, "It's good."
I want to give
like
Robert.
good, so
I want to convince Robert I'm not making fun of him. I am very charming, so saith my numbers. So somehow I want to give him a look.
Okay, yeah. If you want to make a charm roll.
Okay, I will do that. Let's see. Charm. Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, I beat that by a lot. Actually, I got what's the second? A hard success?
Hard success, yep.
Yeah, I got one of those.
All right. So he doesn't smile, but he visibly softens a little bit when you say it, when you kind of smile at him. It's like, and he says, put in your order. And he goes in through the doors on the side there, and you hear him talking to someone. Everyone can make spot hidden rolls.
Okay.
What? Okay.
You want to roll under.
Okay.
Yeah,
Your
I passed.
Lower is better.
I did not. I got a 97. Is that like a fumble or whatever it's called?
No, I mean most unless it's a skill that
okay.
where a fumble matters, then
so I would throw in something. Gotcha.
So just if we roll over it, we're bad.
Well, if you roll over it, you fail.
I am bad.
Succeed.
Okay.
I'm just enamored by the decor of this bar.
Yeah.
Under certain circumstances, you can if you get 100 like on a weapons roll, bad things can happen. But if it's just something like this.
But I mean, rolling over by 1 and rolling over by 30 doesn't matter. The fact that we rolled over is a fail.
Over is
Correct.
bad.
Okay, got you. I'm over. I failed.
Yeah. Okay.
I rolled a 9, which is under my.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah.
I
under
rolled
my lowest one.
That's really good, dude.
I rolled a 10 as well.
Also very good.
Oh my God, guys.
Butterfly and Jack have a reason they're not noticing things.
Right.
We're giggling so much.
We haven't had medicine yet.
Exactly.
No, we have, just the wrong kind.
What did Wallace get?
37, so I'm good.
A success. Okay.
Not as good as the other two, but yes.
So Janice and Timmy, you guys taking time to also look around, and you're looking around the back part of the place, and you can see and you can now notice in the corner there's like one gentleman sitting there, kind of minding his own business, his face behind a newspaper. Looks like an older gentleman. He's wearing a white shirt, suspenders, and you see he has a white jacket he has hanging over one of the other chairs. Panama hat sitting on the chair next to him. Minding his own business, but he doesn't seem to be paying too much attention to any of you.
I actually, I think that Timmy would actually notice this as like the only person who doesn't work here or work at a place that they've met. So he would almost like nudge Janice and nod over to this man.
Yeah, and I think Janice would probably almost be as one-minded with you, seeing this person kind of having the same thoughts. And she'd kind of look at you and nod a little bit. I wonder what his deal is.
And Wallace, shortly after they notice, you kind of follow their gaze and you see the guy. He doesn't seem to be bothering anyone. So.
And I literally look and then I look right back to the table. I don't.
Yeah. After a relatively short period of time, a younger man sort of comes out. Short, stout-looking guy. Looks like he's Mexican at heritage. He's got long black hair tied in a ponytail, thick mustache, neatly trimmed, and wearing a blue work shirt and an apron. And he's balancing a bunch of plates that he begins, distributing in front of people, quite accurately. In fact, he seems to know his stuff, and he starts putting the plates down where they belong.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So, he and then Robert comes out, puts down a little handwritten bill for it. Probably comes down to $10 with everything you guys ordered.
I want to check the menu again and see what my price was and pay only that.
Fair enough. Yeah, as you see, it has the motel rates on there as well, and for anything else, I made a mistake. The whiskey shot was $1.50. My bad.
Oh, well, I still gave him $2.
That's fine. But yeah, so he kind of sits back down on the stool and goes back to yeah, he's just sitting there. So he just kind of goes back and kind of sits there staring.
You know, if we wanted a night off the road, this wouldn't be a bad place to spend the night. The guys at the gas station were telling me that the sunsets here are gorgeous and the motel rooms are not that much money. I saw it in the menu. And then I take a big bite of my sandwich.
Yeah, because
Jen, sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I think Janice at that point, she's digging into her plate of barbecued ribs, and she's kind of, sauce all over her face, but she looks up at you like, I don't know, I kind of want to just get to where we're going.
Janice, it's so far away. And when are we ever going to be at Abattoir again at sunset? Live the adventure, Janice. Live it.
Yeah, I'm not one for renting a room from the place where I buy my sausage sandwich, so I'm with Jan here.
That is a really particular and very bizarre set of personal morals you got there, Wallace.
Anyway, I thought you were going to get the chili.
Well, I did. I had both. I am an officer of the law, and I need to keep my calorie intake at a high level.
Okay. Well, you better be careful, otherwise you'll get a gut, Wallace.
It did happen to my daddy, so.
I just want to say that Butterfly has a good point that getting a hotel room here wouldn't be a bad idea. I'd like to see the sunset.
By the way, the food is pretty amazing, especially the ribs and the chili and the sausage. It's quite good. The hamburger's good too, but the ribs are some of the biggest you've seen. Falling off the bone. They definitely know their stuff when it comes to that around here.
This sausage is fantastic, and this chili. I want to know where they get this meat.
Oh, so good. I haven't had ribs just like this in, ever.
I think these potato chips are homemade. They're phenomenal.
We are in Texas, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm just amazed that they're in awe at the barbecue. I feel like that should be pretty standard fare.
Good, Jack.
As I'm eating a burger that's pretty good, but I'm kind of imagining that I suddenly feel like I'm the only straight person at the party that didn't smoke anything as I'm eating this burger, and everybody else seems to really be enjoying their food.
I noticed Jack unimpressed, and with a mouthful of sandwich, I just say, I'm from Iowa. What do you want?
Who had Janice, what did you have?
Ribs.
Yeah, I'm setting half my burger down, and I'm just reaching over and taking a rib.
I think she slaps you. Slaps your hand as it comes across. Those are mine.
And if you slap my hand, I'm immediately reaching with the other hand to use the slap as a distraction. I feel like this is a pretty common Janice and Jack.
I was going to say this is a ritual that's been repeated for a long time.
I reach across and catch your second hand and just pin it to the table.
Yes.
That's her goddamn rib.
Like a maneuver.
Janice, you want to pull the leash on your bulldog here?
My rib, Jack.
Seriously?
I grab the plate and just pull it a little bit further away from Jack, but leaving it in front of Janice, and then I let go of his hand.
I think Janice looks at you, Jack, and your look, and you've almost maybe got that puppy dog eye look, like, really? I can't have one? And she's like, oh, fine. And she hands you one.
And I'm going to look at Wallace the whole time I'm eating it. I just PvP TPK over ribs.
That was unexpected.
I am in mid bite, just like watching this whole exchange with like wide eyes. Somebody's gonna die today.
As you guys are eating, you're about most of the way done with your food, and Robert has kind of gone back to presumably do some work or not listen to you guys chew or something, or squabble, depending on on what stage he leaves. But you hear outside a sound of a loud vehicle, kind of like, and it pulls up. You hear some doors slamming and some feet getting up and finally onto the boardwalk, and the door's open and you see three guys come in. They're dressed in dirty white t-shirts, badly faded jeans of different degrees of disrepair, and heavy work boots. The one in front just kind of pulls off his sweaty t-shirt and kind of throws it over his shoulder. The one in front that has these elaborate tattoos covering his upper body. The most prominent of which is some kind of phrase in like red Gothic letters that look like they might be Latin. They're all bald or trimmed very close. The one in front has you can tell has a ragged kind of scar running up his cheek into his face and forehead, and you see kind of a glint of metal from up there. And they begin kind of walking along, not directly at you, but in your general direction.
I kind of scooch a little bit closer to Jack.
I think, yeah.
And
Janice puts out a hand onto Wallace's forearm, and she kind of looks at him, and she's kind of got that like scared little look in her face, says like that these guys just look like trouble.
At this point, Robert comes out and he sees them, and the one in front kind of just throws him this quick nod, and Robert immediately goes and starts pulling 3 beers from the tap. These 3 guys kind of walk past you, and again, like everyone else in the town, it seems they're just kind of looking at all of you as they walk by. Definitely lingering a bit longer on the women. Now they're close, you can see the 3 look a little bit wrong. Apart from being not just bald but hairless, like they have no, you don't see any eyebrows, no sign of any kind of face stubble or anything like that. You see their jaws are maybe a little bit too wide, their eyes a little too far apart. The mouths, the mouths, the 2 big ones in back kind of hang open, revealing teeth that are way too small for their heads. The overall impression is that they're, number 1, related, and number 2, that their family tree doesn't have too many branches.
They're really, really related.
Yeah, they're really, really related.
They're close.
But despite being smaller than the 2 in back, the one with the tattoos definitely has the air of being in charge. He's the others are sort of following along, almost not quite like bodyguards, but they give that kind of impression of kind of walking in his wake as he comes in. And they take a table like right behind where you guys are, and the one with the little glint of metal on his head kind of sits, puts his feet up on the table, and he's just facing right in the direction of you guys. Everyone give me a spot hidden.
Ooh.
Oh.
That was really, really close to being really, really bad.
Oh shit! I was really, really close to being really, really good. I got a 26, which is just a success.
Oh, still pretty good.
Plain success. Womp
Fail.
womp.
Fail.
Anyone get really good?
No, I failed. I'm
Failed.
I'm not looking at them or anything. I think I'm staring down at my
I'm
food.
looking kind of out the corner of my eye and kind of looking at Jack.
Yeah,
too,
as
but
you
trying
try
not
to look, as you turn to look at this guy, this guy with the scar, you kind of catch him looking at you, and as you kind of follow up to his face, you see that little metallic sort of mark on his head is it looks like a screw, like actually like screwed into into the front part of his skull, like right above the eye, right where the scar is.
I lean over to Jack and I say, Don't look right away, but that guy has a screw in his head, right in his eyebrow.
Now whether it's done for like intimidation or whether it was some kind of some kind of a homemade attempt to for some sort of medical procedure, you're not really sure.
God.
But
I absolutely look immediately when she says don't look.
Dang it! Dang it! No! I made a terrible mistake.
It's just kind of a oh shit. You're right.
And he's looking well at that point he was still walking to the table, so he probably didn't notice you looking because he was busy looking at Butterfly, but you definitely see this big heavy industrial screw sort of like embedded in his head.
Ooh. So you remember when I said we should maybe spend the night? I'm thinking we shouldn't spend the night. Oh, I'm thinking we should go like now.
How long has it been since we left the car?
I don't know, maybe about 40 minutes or so.
Okay. We should we can get heading back to the car. They should be done pretty soon, so we can get out of here if you want.
You hear the screech of wood and some footsteps, and on the far side of the bar, between kind of where you need to go to the door and where you are, this guy kind of leans over next to I kind of imagine Timmy down the end for some reason. So leans in next to Timmy and kind of is in real close, and says, "Hey folks, brings you to Abattoir."
You see Timmy just kind of
Timmy,
moving.
you get a real up close look at that screw now.
Oh my God.
And it's not just something glued on or some kind of it's not like a fake one or anything like that. This is an actual like big industrial metal screw that's been like put into his skull.
Timmy is trying not
there's
to
a little
look
bit of a
at it,
space
but-
between the threads sticking out in the head of the screw.
Oof.
Okay. Timmy is trying his hardest not to just absolutely just stare at it, but he is finding it hard, and he just kind of looks and got a
Matter,
flat.
cat cut your tongue?
No. We got a flat a while back, and we're just getting it fixed.
That's a damn shame. Some of these roads around here, people have been driving them for a long time, dropping shit. Happens everywhere. I've had to change tires on my truck more than once because of that.
Right. Name's Timmy. Name's Tim. What's your name? He just shoots a look at Jack. Just
kind of looks down at you. Well,
sorry, I've been in the car way too long with these yahoos.
I'm called Seth.
Is there something we can help you with, Seth, or?
Just being friendly.
Oh, okay.
We don't get people coming to town all the time, so I like to see what's going on. Maybe make some recommendations. I see you've already found one of the best eating places in town.
Well, that chili was about as good as I've ever had. So,
oh yeah.
But yeah, we're about to get out of here. So I appreciate you stopping by.
So soon. That's a shame. Our little town has so much to offer. Perhaps I could buy you all a drink.
I already have one. It's just on my end. I have a whiskey and an iced tea and a water from Timmy. So 3 drinks actually. I'm all set. But thank you so much, Seth. That was who you are.
Yeah.
Thanks anyway.
He kind of leans into Timmy, kind of puts his shoulder against it, says, "How about you? You want to drink with me?"
Timmy just like squeaks like out this like.
I didn't hear that.
I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry. He just lowers his voice.
How about you, boy? He nods to Jack. You look like a drinking man.
You got that right. If you're buying, I'm drinking with you.
All right. He nods to Robert, who quickly grabs a couple of shot glasses and brings them over, and quickly pours a couple of shots.
And I think Janice kicks Jack in the leg when he says that.
Seth grabs one by the top and kind of drags it over. Says, holds it up. It's like, well, to your good health. And he toasts you. And he tosses it back. Well, it's a shame you folks can't stay. But well, if you ever come back this way, hope you can stay longer. And he kind of pushes the stool back, gets up, and walks back to his table.
Butterfly exhales because she's been holding her breath like this whole time.
You see he gets back there. He tosses back the rest of his beer, and his 2 boys follow him out as he goes out the door.
We need to not stay here. We need to not stay the night.
You hear the truck start up.
With Butterfly, it's only $8. That's pretty good for a room.
That does not matter at all. He had a screw in his head.
I'm just joshing with you. We're gonna get out of here.
His aura was so brown. You have no idea. We need to go. We need to go. We need to be gone.
That
Timmy's
wasn't the
aura.
only thing that was brown.
I was gonna say Timmy's aura. Oh. I was gonna say Timmy's aura looked like it was brown too.
Yep.
Oh God, no!
I had to stop myself from passing out from his breath.
Oh God.
Robert spits into a cup, and he puts it back down into the bar, and he's just chewing, and he says, "You don't mind them. They're just local boys. They don't mean you no harm."
Robert, you have to tell me, because now I'm curious. What was with the screw in his eye? Did his eyebrow come off or something? Did he try to put it back on? Is it part of his brain?
Well, he rolled his truck about 8 years ago now, I think it was. And the old doc, and he kind of nods to the back of the room, put him back together. He was a mess, but he's as you can see, he's up and about, so it worked, right? I wouldn't go to mention it though to him. He's real sensitive about it.
Yeah, would never say it to his face in a million years.
Did I hear you folks say you might be getting a room?
Oh, we were talking about it, but we got to be getting up the road. They're about to fix my tires, so we got a lot of driving ahead of us, and we'd like to get on the road here.
Well, if you change your mind, all four rooms are open. I'll be I'll be open here till at least midnight. So feel free to come back if you decide to say the spell. And he goes back.
At this point, I just stand up and I say, I got to get some air. And I go outside where I am frantically rolling a joint.
I actually,
Like, my hands are shaking.
I follow Butterfly out, and as you're kind of fumbling with it, I just sort of tap you on the shoulder and hey, easy. I got what you need. And my hand on my belt buckle, I just sort of slide my thumb out and pull out an already rolled joint from behind my belt buckle, and just kind of give you a nod. Probably ought to head around the side here. Wallace to come out here and bust us, as an officer of the law.
And Jack has done a good job of getting my mind off of everything that just happened. And I go around, is there an alley or something that we go around to?
Well, if you go around the side to where the four little motel rooms are kind of on the side, you're going to go around. There's a little parking area back there.
Just around the corner.
Yeah,
just enough. Maybe find a piece of shade and sure. I'll light it up. Take a quick couple hits and pass it over.
Yep.
So I looked down and noticed that Jack has left without paying his bill.
No, I did pay.
Oh,
I didn't get a chance to mention it, but I did write my amount down. You know what? You're right. I didn't pay.
I was just gonna say, Jack
wait a minute. What am I saying?
I'll go take care of Kate, everyone.
Jake
I'll
would
go
have
take
paid.
care of her.
Jack.
You all just stay put.
Yeah, Jack did not pay. Carry on, Wallace.
I pull out my wallet and I set down a few bucks for Janice and me.
Mm-hmm.
And I look right at Janice when I pull out $3 more and set it on. Guess I'll get Jack's lunch again. And then I just turn it and head towards the door.
Okay. How's Timmy doing?
Timmy's white in the face right now. But he just Janice, can I speak to you for a moment?
Yeah, I mean, Janice, I think after Wallace looked at her like that and paid and walked away, she kind of just sighs a little bit, looks down at the money, and then you call her name and she kind of looks up and, oh, yeah. What is it, Timmy?
Timmy will wait till Wallace is gone and just, I know we said we'd talk to Jack after the trip, but with him and Butterfly, it's getting worse, Janice.
We gotta do something, because I think if it keeps going, not only is it bad for Jack, but Wallace is gonna just lose his shit.
Well, Wallace isn't helping the situation. It's like a parent. He's like a parent, and this is Jack's like a rebellious teenager. The more Wallace says no, the more medicine Jack is going to pop.
Yeah, I mean, he's been like this ever since Mom and Dad died. I mean, I've tried my best, but he's my older brother. Why am I taking care of him?
I think that Timmy would kind of put a hand on Janice's shoulder, something that he that's very familiar, that they've always done since they were young. I'm real sorry, Janice. I didn't want to bring up your parents. I shouldn't have said anything, but
it's okay, Timmy. I mean, honestly, this whole road trip, they haven't been too far from my mind. But maybe that's why Jack's acting out too a little bit more than normal.
Sooner or later, it's going to catch up with him. He must know that. He's not stupid.
Yeah. You're right. We got to do something sooner rather than later. I really appreciate this, Timmy.
And we'll cut back to Jack and Butterfly, who are around the corner of the thing, smoking their
Do you
joint.
ever
passing
worry
it back
that this
and
is
forth.
gonna? Do you ever worry that this is gonna catch up with you?
This?
Yeah, this.
Nah. I mean, what's going to catch up with me?
I don't know.
Seriously.
You guys see across the parking lot from where you're smoking. You see a place with a sign out front for Kelly's Drugs. Across the street is an old building, abattoir, grocery and liquor, but it's clearly closed. The door says for rent or lease, and below that, Scott Brown Properties, EM69347.
I am just about done. So I flick the butt into the street and I just go like lean my head back into the bar and I say, Timmy, I think I found a place for your where to get your emergency. It's across the street. It says something drug store. So, and then I just back out of the bar again.
Okay.
Timmy just nods and he looks to Janice and just, at least we'll get him something to hold over whatever is once he comes down.
I look over at Kate as she leans in, and real quickly I run to where she flicked that roach.
Oh, no.
And then I stop myself. It's sort of a reflex, like, ah, damn it. And I don't pick it up.
All right.
And I got at least, all right. I'm sort of in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm good.
And where's Wallace right now?
So after paying for lunch, I'll have walked out, and I'll go stand out on the. I'm assuming there's like a porch out in the front of.
It's basically like a boardwalk, like kind of like in the front of saloons running the whole length.
So I'll head out there, and I go right outside the swinging doors, and I just kind of lean up against the wall, and I pull out my pack of cigarettes, and I pull out my. I look at this Zippo lighter, and it's got the Austin Police Department logo on it, and I light a cigarette. I look down at it, I'm like, Daddy, I don't know how you did put up with people like this all the time. You're a stronger man than I am, but God damn, Jack. I just sit there and I'll smoke a cigarette, waiting for everybody to come out.
All right. Yeah, and you also see the closed abattoir, grocery and liquor store. A little further down, you see a little shop. It looks kind of like a. You can kind of see it from here. It's a little further down, but it looks like it might be some kind of gift shop or something like that. It's it looks like like an Old West store, something made to look like an Old West store. These are clearly buildings that were built like later on. They're not authentic Old West. They're made to look authentic Old West for tourists. Excuse me. That one also has the sort of front, false front, wooden porch, hitching post and all that. The sign above the door is an elaborately painted sign that shows a group of native men looking off into the distance with solemn, almost sad expressions. Behind them is a massive stylized bird with dark storm clouds behind it. The name of the shop, Thunderbird Gifts, is painted in large old-fashioned type. The door's window is again covered with flies, like so many of the ones in town here. And so you see that.
I think Janice would turn to Timmy as Kate's kind of shoved her head in there and talked about the drugstore. Let's go, Timmy. Let's go get supplies and see if we can get out of here. And you can see that she's holding on to a locket that's around her neck while she gets up. And you can see that she kind of steals herself kind of from the conversation that we just had and puts a smile back on her face and heads out
Okay.
of the bar.
At this point, pretty much, I think at this point, everyone's pretty much gathered on the boardwalk outside the bar. Wallace is smoking a cigarette. Steve's kind of gathered around. You don't see you even so far. I haven't seen a lot of people besides Seth and his group. You still see the guy a little further down, sitting on the porch of Mathers, and even from here, you can see his head is looking in your direction. You know, not much else going on really.
I'm gonna go get a shot glass, and I start walking across the street towards the gift shop.
All right. By the way, the heat has reached its apex at this point. It's about it's easily 105, 110 now as you walk out, and it's just like walking into an oven as you step out into the scorching sun. You can feel yourself tanning as you walk.
My already perfect golden tan is getting more perfect somehow.
Yeah, the hair is becoming more blonde as it bleaches in the sun.
Jack notices.
Jack notices.
Does Jack go with her? Because you see her bouncing her way across the jauntily across the street towards.
I think what Jack sort of set this precedent of waiting for Butterfly to go somewhere, and then pretty much as if there's about a 10-foot tether between them, he's heading off. Throws an aside over to Wallace as he's smoking his cigarette. Those things are gonna kill you one day. Want me to pick you up an ashtray? And then I take off after Butterfly.
Yeah, so Wallace, despite your desire to get out of here, you see Butterfly and Jack kind of gaily running across the street towards the towards Thunderbird Gifts.
God damn. Candace, Timmy, these dumbasses are off doing something again.
Wow.
Wallace, well, just relax a little bit. Timmy and I, we're going to go over to the drugstore. We're going to pick up some supplies. If they haven't come back, then we'll go get them and drag them. Why don't you go check on the car and see if it's ready?
All right, you're right. I'll try and calm down a bit. I just want to get out of here. See you in a bit. And I'll head off down to check on the car.
Okay. All right. Okay, Butterfly and Jack, you pass by the First Bank of Abattoir, which is probably the nicest building in town because it's a red brick building with kind of a terracotta aesthetic, and wide granite steps. It says First Bank of Abattoir, established 1945, and it has their hours. As you come up to the Thunderbird Gifts, you can see that again lots of flyers in the window, and you see in the main window of the door you see a big sign that says "Going Out of Business Sale." The sign looks to be about 10 years old or so.
And they're still in business?
Oh yeah,
that's great. Okay, we go in. I go in.
Yep. You immediately struck by the scent of sage as you walk in, even just as the door opens to this rustic establishment. A small cloud of smoke wafts out the door from above, and you're greeted by a scene of organized chaos within. Several cluttered display cases contain pipes, pouches, knickknacks, and various bits of jewelry made from silver, turquoise, and beads that sort of dominate the center of the shop. There are racks of clothing made from buckskin lining the walls. Hanging from the ceiling and mounted on the walls are bows and arrows, stone war clubs, jawbone clubs, hatchets, spears, knives, and painted ceremonial shields that are don't even look like they belong to any of the southwestern tribes, quite frankly. Other shelves are filled with dusty pottery, woven baskets, and other rather tacky souvenirs, which is where you see your fabled shot glasses. although they look like they date back to the 1930s at least.
Perfect.
There's an Apache-style blanket hanging behind the counter, presumably separating some sort of back room from the front of the shop. A low padded chair sits behind the counter, which is where you see the owner. His you can just kind of see the top of his head and his kind of dark eyes sort of peering through the transparent counter when you enter. He kind of stands up slowly without saying a word and flips a switch on the little on his cash register, and you hear it kind of whine to life. And he just kind of stands there.
Hello.
He nods. Could you guys give me a spot hidden? This would have been when you first walked in.
That's a success for me.
Okay. Regular success?
Regular success.
Okay. Jack?
I have yet to make a spot hidden check. That was very much not a success.
Okay. So yeah. So again, he's kind of standing there expectantly, waiting patiently.
Do you have any shot glasses that say abattoir?
Abattoir. Shelf over there has some.
Okay. And I go over there and I try to find one that says abattoir.
This guy's hair is like pure white, pulled back in a messy ponytail. His face is deeply lined and leathery, and his with his sort of shrunken frame, he looks like he could be 100 years old. Yeah, he's not smiling, but he's not scowling either. He just has this kind of very neutral face on, and so he just kind of gestures over to the rack of various little shot glasses. You see some of them are just generic Texas. A few of them are, just have pictures of cactus and stuff like that on them. But you actually see a couple that say, Abattoir, Texas.
Awesome. I grab one and I go back over to the counter.
These pipes here, are they just tobacco? Or could you, in theory, smoke any kind of, let's just say, tobacco?
He says, they work. You can smoke anything in them. I have some. I have tobacco for sale over there, and he points to these big glass jars sitting on a shelf with like masking tape labels on them.
How much are the pipes?
$250.
I mean, I look over to Butterfly. I mean, it doesn't say abattoir explicitly on it, but that says abattoir.
It says abattoir in its own way.
I'll take that one right there.
He reaches over and picks it up, and it's intricately carved, but it's got these like two feathers that are hanging off it that have clearly been painted. In other words, they're not actual like eagle feathers. They're probably more like goose feathers that have been sort of decorated to look like eagle feathers.
Inside these display cases, are there any like weapons, like ornamental, like knives or anything like that?
Yeah. There's actually some there's actually a really nice sort of tomahawk looking item. And he knows she's looking at it. It's like, that's a nice one. That belonged to my grandfather.
It's super pretty. And I pull out my knife that has the buck antler handle, and I say, I got this when I was 17 years old. My first boyfriend gave it to me. Isn't it kind of cool too? It's got a story. Everything's better when it has a story, isn't it?
Yes. He looks at it and says, that's nice craftsmanship.
Thank you. I think so too.
Nice craftsmanship.
Not so nice boyfriend. I put it back.
He kind of gives a non-committal grunt, but he points to the tomahawk and says $5.
Ooh. Well, I'll take it if you tell me about your grandfather.
He says, my grandfather's been on this land for quite some time. He grew up here. Our family has been here for many generations. And he starts spinning this really improbable tale about, that Butterfly might not notice, but Jack might begin to hear like hints of more spaghetti western than actual history. Clearly, it's a practiced story that he gives to people, and he picks up the tomahawk and puts it on the thing, and it looks pristine, like it, the wood is shiny, is shiny. The blade is in perfect condition. It has these little sort of eagles sort of etched into it, and
I give him $6 and I say thank you for the story.
he says, yeah, you're buying the shot glass too?
Also the shot glass.
Yeah. All right. So the $6 covers both. So he
Perfect.
Puts it in. Says, and $2.50 for the pipe. He looks at you, Jack.
Yeah, I pull out some very crinkled dollar bills and dig in for I probably make the 50 cents out of mostly nickels and dimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he takes them without comment and puts them in and rings it up. And he brings out some brown paper bags and puts your things in it and hands them off to each of you. So thank you, come again. And he turns off his cash register and sits back down. Meanwhile, over at Kelly's Drugs, you guys walk into the sound of a tinkly bell that rings when you walk through the door. It's a smaller brick building with the name painted rather simply above the door. The windows display a number of household items that look like they haven't been touched in some time. The counter to the left has a cash register, a jar of hard candies for $0.01. The wall behind is covered with shelves that have all manner of medications from over the counter to antibiotics. The cabinet to the right has a cage door with a stout lock and presumably contains actually Timmy might recognize that it contains stronger medications, the ones that normally require a prescription. And the rest of the shop is sort of filled with shelves that have everything from first aid supplies to crutches to a few small appliances like toaster ovens, blenders, things like that. And while the place is fairly well maintained, it's clear that the merchandise doesn't move that quickly here. The man behind the counter, he's a tough-looking guy in his mid-50s. He's pretty. He's got his sleeves rolled up. He's for that age, he looks pretty fit. He's got graying hair and pale blue eyes, and he smiles friendly enough when you walk in. He's like, well, I guess it's afternoon now, isn't it? Afternoon. What can I do for you?
Hiya, we're just passing through and we're looking for just the essentials, aspirin, a few vitamins.
All right. He goes to the shelf behind him, pulls down the aspirin, pulls down the jar of vitamins, and kind of puts them down. Are you looking just for a straight up multivitamin?
Looking for some, and he's going to list off some like maybe B's or magnesium or something that he might know might help with the.
Yeah, he nods appreciatively at your knowledge, and he goes over and starts filling your order.
And Janice is looking around the counter. And do you have any water? Like bottled
No,
water?
we gotta. I mean, there's a. If you need water out back, there's a faucet. This is kind of the pre-bottled water era, so not a lot of bottled water.
I envisioned we were all.
Evian and nothing else.
I envisioned we were all drinking water out of a like milk jug anyway.
Like a jug,
When
yeah.
we were in the car.
gallons.
Filled up at the last spigot.
Still a faint flavor of. Lookin.
Oh, tastes like lead.
I think at that when he says that there's a faucet out the back, she would look to Timmy and says, "Well, I'm going to go get those jugs and fill them up. I'll be right back." So she's going to go out to where I guess Wallace is with the car.
That'll be $6.95.
Yeah, I imagine that Timmy reaches into his pocket and he takes out this huge, just handful of crumpled bills. There's a 5 and a couple of 1s, so he just kind of unfurls and flattens out the best he can this cash, and he hands it over.
Right. He patiently kind of counts it out and says, "All right, change." Says, "That be all?"
Yeah. Do you get many visitors here?
Not many. And if you're smart, you'll get out of here as soon as you can.
You see Timmy just kind of stop at that. Wow, that's we've talked to a few of the locals, and this is the first we've heard of that.
Well, and he kind of looks toward the door, and he says, "Between you and me, there's some rough elements in town. They can give strangers a hard time. I mean, right now you're probably fine, but if you hang around too much, they could become a problem. But mostly hooligans."
We did meet Seth already.
Oh, did you?
I mean, he was very friendly. I can't say anything bad. He was very friendly. Very friendly. So.
Well, that's good then. But yeah, I mean, some of us are friendly enough, but there's some bad elements. You just want to watch yourself.
Well, thank you kindly then for these, and he kind of gestures to, I assume, like these, like now like this paper bag of brown bag of stuff.
Thank you.
he smiles and says, "Sure thing."
Thanks.
He's gonna go back follow after Janice.
Okay. At the gas station, Wallace, you come walking up to the gas station, and your car is parked off to the side. You see the tire on it is intact. And as you start walking up, Russ kind of gets up and the three of them are back exactly where they were before, almost as if they were props. and he kind of gets back up and walks over, kind of meets you a little way away from the station, or away from the door. Says, "I found the place okay."
Yeah. That's fantastic lunch. The chili, my God, that was good chili. So, but yeah, no, it's good lunch. I appreciate the heads up. But we about ready over here?
Yeah, you're good. You're good to go. Between the fill up and the tire, that's $12.
Okay, I'll pull out 3 5s.
Okay.
He
takes it and kind of pulls out a little roll, a little wad of money, very small wad of money. He's not rolling in it, but he starts flipping through in singles and hands you change.
No. You keep the rest. That's good. I appreciate the help.
Oh, well, thank you very much. You drive safe now.
I appreciate it. Hopefully, no more nails, right?
Yeah. Well, doesn't happen all the time, but so you'll probably be okay. And he says, "Your friends coming with you?"
They're off playing around down there. Some crap. I'm gonna go. I figured I'd come get the car and head down and pick them up.
All right. Well, he kind of wipes the sweat off his brow. He says, "You stay out of the heat now." And he goes over and kind of sits down with the others, picks up his beer and starts drinking it.
You'll have a good day now. And I'll hop in the car and crank her up.
Yeah, it starts fine. The tire looks good.
I'll head back down.
And you see the gas gauge go up to full. And all right, yeah. So you drive down the street, and at this point you probably see your friends in various places, various stages of leaving their respective locations. As you pull into the parking lot of the in front of the motel rooms.
I'll just kind of beep the horn a couple times.
I start walking over to the car, showing everybody my cool new tomahawk.
Wave it over your head. All right.
I'm also walking over to the car, not showing anybody my cool new pipe.
Brilliant. Okay, so you guys get back to the car, climb in. Not looking forward to another 20-25 miles of this, but your bellies are full. You had a little respite.
That was nice to stretch our legs. Yeah. I'm glad we are leaving, though. Did you see that guy? I think they were all like brothers and cousins. I think that, yeah, we need to go. I'm glad we're going. You see my tomahawk, guys? It was only $5. It was this guy's grandfather. And then Butterfly goes on and like telling the whole story in a lot of detail.
Yeah. You guys haven't known Butterfly for long, but you're kind of surprised because this is the first time she's actually said a bad word about someone. Like, like up till now, it's been everyone she's met has been the most wonderful person ever.
Butterfly's been on the road. She knows how to take care of herself.
Not so much the guy with the screw in his head.
Nah, not good things. No.
But so you turn around and begin heading back out toward the highway. You come up onto the dirt road. You see the back of that sign says, leaving abattoir, come back soon. And you come over a hill, make a couple of turns, you come to that bridge, and the bridge is collapsed. It's gone. The main supports have fallen. You see scattered debris in the ravine. The ravine itself is maybe about 25-30 feet across. It has fairly steep sides. It looks like a gully, like a seasonal flood gully, and it just goes on in both directions for quite a while, but it's pretty deep. But the bridge is it looks like it broke at the far end.
Damn it.
Well, son of a bitch.
It's a little odd that they didn't say anything about this. You'd think they'd say, hey, the bridge here is completely demolished.
Well, maybe they didn't know. Maybe it just happened.
Well, you came across it coming in.
Was it intact when we came in?
No, well, yeah.
Well, yeah. We didn't freaking
we were high, but we weren't that high.
It's a late night, guys.
I thought we were going the other way. Okay.
We did Dukes of Hazzard jump over the ravine.
Not in Wallace's car, you don't.
Yeah, you never know. You never know, man.
Yeah, Wallace's Roscoe Pico train.
But yeah, it's I guess maybe you feel a little fortunate that didn't happen while you were on it, but it is definitely put a kink in your plan. The road did go out the other way out of town though, so it's not like it wasn't like it was a dead end or something.
Well,
yeah, Janice will turn to Wallace and like, oh, what are we gonna do? There's got to be another way out of town.
That nail you pulled out of your tire, put it back.
In the tire?
It's all Wallace's fault.
Well, I'm sure we can go through the other way, but out in this area of the country, there's it's going to take us a long, long time to go the other way, I'm sure.
We don't
So-
got another option.
I mean, we can head that way. We can stop in town for the night and see what's going on. I don't want to, but I'll be honest, I don't know what else there's going to be for us. There's just nothing out here.
Let's try and go. And
All
I think
right.
she'd be placing her hand on your shoulder. I don't want to stay.
Neither do
All
I.
right.
I vote with Janice. Janice has the best ideas of not staying in Abattoir.
Well, in that case, I vote with Butterfly.
Of course you
Right.
do, Jack.
So I'll turn the car. I'll start, kind of 3-point turn.
All right.
Start heading back the other way.
A perfect
Okay.
3-point turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you drive back in town, seeing the same SO station, the 3 guys sitting there. Again, watching you come into town. Maybe giving you a little, they give you really sort of just these nondescript looks. As you sort of come through, like just watching, like it's a show.
So I'll pull up by the station and just stop, leave the car running, but windows down. I just look over. Joe, just so you know, the bridge that way is completely out. I don't know who y'all got to address that kind of thing around here, but I figured you'd want to know.
You see, Russ gets up and he looks, so and he kind of looks in that direction as if he might see it, but of course you can't see it from here. And he says, "That does happen occasionally." And you see, he looks really, kind of upset by that, and he just kind of shakes his head. Damn it. Well, thank you. I'll let someone know.
I appreciate it. Y'all have a good day. We're gonna head out the other way. So
He waves over his shoulder as he turns. He says, "Where are you? You trying to get back to the highway?"
yes, sir.
All right. Well, there's only really one way to do that. If you want to get there the quickest way, I guess. Hang on here. He says, "You go out of town here. You'll."
I pull out a notebook from my pocket and I'm writing all of this down.
You'll come to a T. You turn left. Go down. Come to another T. Turn right. You'll go on to a red road. Follow all the way down to Gully Road. And actually, it says no. It says no. Gully Road's not great this time of year. No, you go down and you take a hard right at a 3-way intersection onto Twister Road, and you follow the back. Just keep going straight. It'll take you back out to 385.
I'm like furiously writing and I'm getting frustrated as I'm having to cross things off and then write them back down. And I read it back to them like I have it written down.
Okay. You hit it back to him?
Yeah, well, I'll read it back to him to make sure I got it right. So
yeah, that should do it for you. And he looks a little. Actually, give me a psychology roll.
Ooh. Well, let's see here. Oh yeah, that is a 2.
Oh.
He seems a lot more affected by this than you might imagine. I mean, yeah, it kind of sucks the bridges out, but he seems like really upset about it. And he almost a little sad, like someone just told him some bad news. Like, I mean, it is bad news, but you know what I mean? Like someone, a relative has died or something like that. He just seems that kind of, but he's doing a pretty good job of hiding it.
So I just kind of look at him and, okay, well, appreciate the help. Y'all have a good day and maybe we'll see you again. I'll head on down the road.
As he's
Because-
pulling away, I roll down the window, but I'm not quite fast enough, and I'm just like, "Thank you!" And then before like I really get anything out,
Yeah, his eyes sort of follow you as you go, and you begin heading, back through town and and out the other side. And I think we'll take a break at this point, and then we'll pick up as soon as you guys leave town.
Okay.
All
and nothing
right.
could go wrong.
All right. I just want to say real quick, thank you
Exactly.
to everybody who has tuned in so far. Hang out. Continue to hang out. We are going to be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. So please stand by. And we are back. Just a quick note. Some of you may have caught this right during the break as I updated in the chat, but we were talking during the break here, and this, I had said in the chat earlier that this was going to be a one-shot, but we are having so much fun, and we are just enjoying these characters and spending time with it, that we are going to, Alex is going to find a nice narrative stopping point here in the next half hour, 45 minutes. And then there will definitely be a part 2 and possibly even a 3 and 4 in the future, in the not too distant future. So if you're not following me on Twitter at MTD_Jake, I'll go ahead actually and drop my socials in the chat there to stay up to date on when the subsequent parts will happen. And the question came up. This will be uploaded to YouTube by the weekend, probably. So the VOD will be available in perpetuity there as well. And that'll go for the future episodes. With that, I'm going to turn it back over to our keeper as we are heading outside of town.
Yep. So you are heading out on Main Street, past a few other buildings. Like I said, some are still working, others are abandoned. You pass by a place called Sunshine Laundromat, Best Foot Forward Shoes and Repair, which is out of business, Atomic Radio Electronics, which is out of business, Scott Brown Properties, and you see a very nice farmhouse looking thing with Dr. Robert L. Brenner on the sign, on the little placard out front as you pass by that.
I wonder if that's the guy that put the screw in Seth's head. I bet it is. There's no other doctors around here. It has to have been him, don't you think?
I don't know, Jimmy. Does that sound like something a doctor would do?
I don't know. A doctor around here?
This town, I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said before, they just hope you don't die of dysentery. Seems like.
You drive past a school that looks like it's closed, and not just closed for the summer, but like it hasn't been used in a while. It says Wayland Community Public School, established 1952. There's still construction paper in the windows that, if you look down each window, it spells out "Go Rattlers." But you see on the fence there's a Scott Brown property sign. You pass a few abandoned houses that clearly haven't been used in a long time. The windows are missing. The roofs are sort of bowing from just lack of any care. And you just kind of turn and start going downhill a little bit, and you see off to the right a very large structure, massive cinder block building that has sort of a warehouse factory look to it. You see a couple of loading docks. The whole property is surrounded by a chain link fence with barbed wire on top. And as you follow it down, you come around and take a left when you get to the T. You can see the front of the building. It says there's a painted across the long side. You see the name Hackett and Sons Beef Company. Beneath that, the tagline reads "Real people, real meat."
Oh, okay. Bad choice of words. I'm sorry.
Oh
boy.
Oh
wow.
On this fence, there are signs hanging every 30 feet or so that say "Keep out." You see a few other little side roads, but you stay on this one as directed. You see on the right a what looks like it might have been it was a diner, but it's clear that hasn't been occupied in some time. Despite the fact that you're not anywhere near such a place, the name of the diner is called Highway 6. for no really apparent reason. And you're currently on Hackett Road, as the sign indicated. You continue your way out, and shortly after passing there, you come to another T intersection, as Russ described, and the instructions say go right.
Okay, so I will go right.
All right, turning on it, and you begin. Now you're starting to get into more like back roads. They're still easily drivable. You're not in any risk of, going off the road or bottoming out or anything like that. But they're a little less refined. You're back onto dirt roads now, and there's a lot of tight curves, and you're constantly kind of going up and down. So you're taking it kind of easy as you make your way around these hitchbacks. Finally you pull on. You see a sign that says Red Road, which he mentioned to you, and you turn and pull onto it. A sec. So like many of the other roads in the area, it's unpaved, but again, relatively smooth. Just as you pull onto it and begin, kind of driving down to the left, you see a hand-painted sign on a wooden post that says Highway of Blood. Very, very sort of dramatically. Could everyone make spot hidden checks?
Heck yeah, I haven't made a good check yet.
Well, you can attempt.
I got a hard. What is it? A hard victory? Well, hard success.
Yeah, hard success.
That one.
Okay. Anyone else?
Oh, I outright failed. Yeah.
Okay.
I got 21.
Okay.
Got a
So
95.
that's success. So Butterfly, you're kind of glad to be out of Abattoir after that encounter with Seth, and you kind of go to take one look back, and you catch just in time as this car is like right behind you at high speed, and it slams into the back of your car, Wallace. Everyone gets jerked back as something slams into their rear bumper, the rear bumper of your car. You can hear the crack, the breaking of plastic as your rear lights are clearly damaged.
What the hell?
I need you to make a drive check, Wallace.
That is a 67, so I'm gonna guess no.
Push it.
Yeah, that is a no.
Push it.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess no.
And again, just remind everyone, don't forget your luck points. You can always spend if you're close, or you want to, if it's
How does that work again?
It's a 1-for-1 thing. So if you, however many you miss by, you can spend that many.
I spend points. I'm not going to spend 17 points to fix this drive. So.
All right, so it slams into the back, and you momentarily lose control of the car because you just weren't expecting it, and so you kind of slide sideways and fishtail a bit, and you go off the road onto like this kind of side ditch, as you pull down. Give me one more drive check.
And I think Janice is screaming this entire time.
That is a pass. Yep. 41.
Okay. So you managed to just pull it back up onto the road. Your driving training kicking in from your training, and you pull back up onto the road. And Butterfly, as you're looking back, you see not only this car speeding up again, but you see another one behind kicking up a big cloud of dust as it's pulling up fast.
Wallace, go, hit the gas, hard.
Yeah.
And that's where we'll stop.
Okay.
Because that's a nice cliffhanger.
Yeah, it is.
I was
a cliffhanger.
Oh, it's like a Saturday morning, man.
I was primed. Wallace is coiled.
Does anybody remember the movie Jeepers Creepers?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
With that
Your
big old
tail
truck
light.
coming in behind him on the road, and that's exactly what I was picturing all of a
Yeah.
Better
sudden.
fix that. Fix what?
Right.
Your tail.
I love the butterfly. I love the butterfly was the one who happened to look back just as the car was like right there. And
God dang it. Just kind of. Wow, dude.
Man, Jack needs to sober up.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
this will
he's
do
definitely-
it for
he's
you.
definitely- a bad
made,
trip.
but I didn't even come close to passing a check tonight.
Yeah, that was some rough rolls there.
Wow, guys, real good.
That
Good
Maybe you're
last
stuff.
saving
spot
up.
check, I had a 95.
Maybe you, maybe,
Oh,
Jesus. Maybe
went
you're
blind.
saving up. Maybe you're saving up for next
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
When it's
Getting
clutch,
the bad ones out.
When it's
Right.
clutch, that's when
Right.
Jack's going to be
That's what he's
probably
gonna shine.
somewhere around the time that I've dropped some of that acid that I've got.
You're gonna go to
Right.
another place. You're gonna be like a superhero.
All right.
Really like, I know everything.
I see everything.
And then he dies.
All right. Well, that was what is now session 1, part 1 of Highway of Blood from Critical Hit Publishing, which, as we mentioned at the top of the stream, Alex, our keeper, is one of the authors of this. I do want to give a shout out because I don't want to take full credit for the amazing artwork in the overlay here and in our placards for the stream and the promotional material. I put all of those together, but Alex put the cover artwork together for the module. These are all elements from this scenario. Ian, I think you're still in the chat. If you want to go ahead, I modded Ian so he can drop links. If you want to go ahead and drop a link to
cool.
where people
Thank
can
you.
pick up this scenario, I absolutely will not hesitate to plug this. If Call of Cthulhu is your thing, head over to DriveThruRPG, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you guys now have a POD option, a print on demand option available. Alex has the actual
Yes, we do.
hardcover
Oh,
of the book
the
right there.
hardcover though.
How many
Oh, the
juicy pages
hardcover,
are in
though.
that thing?
130.
130 pages
Yeah.
of awesome.
yeah,
Just listen to
lot.
what Alex has been telling us about how fleshed out this town of Abattoir is. And this is just incredible. So definitely, I will continue to plug this. Ian just dropped a link in there, and when I put it up on YouTube, I will go ahead and put a link in the information on YouTube as well. So if you're watching on YouTube later, after we've aired this live, look down below in the information bar, and you'll find a link as well where you can pick up your own copy of Highway of Blood. This is tremendous fun. As I mentioned earlier, all of us have played together a few times. In usually where I've been the GM as we've been running our Halloween games. So this is a great crew to get together for this scenario. We all just play so well off of one another, and I love the story that Alex is weaving, laying out before us. So if you like this and you want to be sure that you don't miss it, make sure you click the button to follow Mini Terrain Domain on Twitch. Or if you want to catch the VOD, head over to youtube.com/Mini Terrain Domain and be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified when I post new videos. Be sure to check out everybody's social media. I don't have them all in the Twitch chat. I see some of them going up. But they will be in the VOD on YouTube as well. A reminder, if you're with us right now and you like role-playing games, you like the live stream thing that we're doing here, you can catch myself and Em along with the rest of the Dawnbringers tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern right here. On Friday, I will be over on YouTube for the new Just Crafting live stream happening from 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Eastern. On Friday, most Fridays, once a month, I got a game with Nerdarchy, so I'll be over there. But otherwise, I will be streaming live, live crafting for a couple hours there. Sunday night, we're hoping to return with our Tomb of Annihilation campaign, Chult of Personality, where Em and Karen are players in that. We have been playing that for over 2 years. I think we're on session 62 or something like that.
Whoa, guys.
That is for I think all of us in that campaign. That is our longest running campaign that we've been a part of. But yeah, just about every night of the week, you can tune in here to Mini Terrain Domain, catch Dungeons and Dragons. We've added Cthulhu, Call it Cthulhu to the mix. You can a couple Wednesdays.
Don't forget Mondays
of the month. Yes, on Mondays. That's right. Em and Dwight and I are in our All That Glitters Waterdeep Dragon Heist game, DM'd by Mike the Piper. And I'm going to shout them out anyway, even though it wasn't relevant for this stream. For all other D&D streams, we use D&D Beyond. They have granted us insider access to everything, so I run all of my D&D games using D&D Beyond. So be sure to check them out as well. Last plug, I totally forgot to do this at the beginning. I'm going to drop a link in the chat. And it's on the bottom of all the YouTube videos. We have merch. You can get Mini Terrain Domain t-shirts. You can get t-shirts for just about every campaign that we run. I don't know, maybe I have to talk to Critical Hit, talk to Alex, and maybe we can get some kind of Highway of Blood merch out there.
Dude.
Or something.
Yes.
Can we get trucker hats?
That
yeah.
Teespring,
Yes.
I
Oh
think
my
Teespring
God.
just introduced trucker
That would be cool.
Dude,
hats
I will-
recently.
Oh,
I
That
would
would be
so
dope.
have a trucker hat on. I would so buy a trucker hat. All kinds of yes.
Or
Yes.
to
All
stick
right.
in the parlance, that would be groovy.
Awesome.
Super groovy,
so-
I'll look into
guys.
that.
A huge
Goodbye.
thank you, of course, to Alex for running this what is going to be a mini campaign for us here on the channel. This is masterclass Call of Cthulhu game mastering, and of course a huge thank you to my friends and fellow players Dwight, Karen, Carrie, and Em. You guys are the best. I love every chance I get to play with all of you. And the final shout out, of course, goes to all of you in the audience. Thank you for hanging out with us for the last few hours, and we hope to see you back for part 2 of Highway of Blood, a 1970s scenario for Call of Cthulhu. Now I'm going to go ahead and end the stream the same way I end every stream, and you can say it with me if you want.